Hey guys, David with the Wholesalers Toolbox, and I'm going to take a couple minutes and quickly go through the real estate skip tracing page of the website. Just updated the page and kind of updated the links on it. So I want to take a minute for those of you that are new to skip tracing and just talk about how I find the owner of a property. So I've got an address of a property in Detroit that's vacant, and I'm just going to go through real quick and show you how I would look up the owner of that. So if you look on the skip tracing page right here, first step, find the owner's name. I do this by going to the county tax site and just, looking up the taxes like I'm going to pay them and get the name. Now, this is going to be different in every city, every county. All the sites are laid out different. So you're just going to have to get on your county site, play around with it, and pull up the owner's information. So here I've pulled up the address. It gives me two taxpayer names, and on this particular property, it shows me that they're way behind on taxes, that they owe about $10,000 or almost $11,000 in back taxes. The house is vacant. So this is a good candidate for a deal here. So they haven't paid taxes since 2015, so they're probably ready to roll on getting rid of this thing. So I'll go into the county, get the names of the people. I've got the address. I'll just take a look at if I'm just doing this online, I haven't driven by the property. I'll pull it up on Google Street View and just take a look at the street and make sure it looks good. This looks like it's on a great street. It has a lot of brick colonials, which is what everybody in Detroit's looking for. Okay, so anyway, I take the name off the taxpayer roll, and then I go back to this page here. We're going to go into a free online website, People Search. Now, this has changed a lot. There used to be a lot of good websites like, whitepages.com and, all kinds of different sites, and I have them listed here on the page. A lot of these are free, but a lot of them have gone to they'll redirect you to pay services. And, we don't want to get into, doing that, if we can avoid it. I'm cheap. I don't like to pay money for stuff. So I use Fast People Search because it's good and it's, again, free. So if we hop over to Fast People Search, I've looked up Annie's name off of the tax rolls, and it says that Annie's 79. She's still in Detroit at a different address. It gives me a couple phone numbers for her. Now, sometimes this information's good, sometimes it's not. It might be old data. So, you can try these numbers and see if you're successful at it. Gives me an email address for Annie. Sometimes it'll give multiple email addresses. And it also gives you some names that she's gone by, different spellings, different ways she's, put her name down on different, applications or whatever throughout the years. Gives you some previous addresses. And also this is pretty nice too. It'll give you possible relatives. So if you can't track her down, let's say there's not, any phone numbers or current addresses or anything for Annie, you can start clicking on her relatives, and it'll bring up information for them, and you can try to track her down that way. So anyway, that's how you look somebody up on the free site, and get their information. Okay, so also I have on my RealFlow account, I can go into RealFlow, and I can also look it up, if I didn't want to go onto the free site. If you have RealFlow, you can do this as well. You can go in there and see that, they've got Tamisha as the owner, and they've got the property address, and they've also got the same mailing address. So they have not given the county a, new tax billing address. So this is going to be hard for somebody to get a hold of Tamisha or for Annie if if somebody was just sending mail and not driving for dollars, they would never reach them because there's no address to mail them to. This house is vacant and they're not dropping mail there. So this, doing it this way gives you a clear advantage over the competition. All right. So if you track these people down and you get them on the phone or you send them a email or you get a new address for them and send them a letter, you're going to be the only ones contacting them. And that's a great thing. Okay. So anyway, so house is vacant. You can see on here on RealFlow, it gives you all the property data. The house is, I believe this one is free and clear, except for the back taxes owned on it for as far as far as we know. So anyway, there's all the information on RealFlow. Okay, so looking for Tamisha, like I said, she wasn't on Fast People Search, but we can jump over and start looking for her on social media. And I did find her on LinkedIn, and it doesn't give a lot of information about her on LinkedIn, but it does say that she works at Title Source, a title company here in Michigan. So it looks like maybe she was trying to get into the real estate investing business and maybe it didn't work out well for her. But if you click on here and you go to Title Source and you've got a website, you could go to their website and give them a call over there and ask for her and try to track her down that way. Okay, so that's a good way to look for her. Also on the skip tracing website, let's scroll down here. If you have a business set up and if you are, your wholesaling business is a LLC or you filed a DBA or, anything like that, you can get a MicroBill account. And MicroBill, if you're familiar with TLO or other skip tracing services, MicroBill is like that. But unlike TLO, who doesn't like real estate investors, MicroBill doesn't have a problem with real estate investors. And, matter of fact, they would love to have your business. So if you sign up with MicroBill and you can, click on this link right here on the page on MicroBill, and it'll take you to a landing page that we have set up with MicroBill, so you can apply right there. But MicroBill will give you what's called a credit header. It's off of the person's credit report, and a credit header, it doesn't give you any account information or anything like that, but it does give you their, current address, phone numbers, email addresses, and all those kind of things. So how does a company like MicroBill or TLO or any other credit agency get that? Well, if you go in or anybody goes in and fills out an application anywhere, you go to, T-Mobile or AT&T or somewhere to get a phone, you go to Best Buy, you go to rent an apartment, you fill out an application to rent a house, you go and try to buy a car. Any of that information you put on applications goes to the credit bureau so they know where you are. So using MicroBill will give you the most up-to-date information on anybody if they've filled out an application recently, and most people have. So if you've got an LLC set up, if you've got a DBA set up, or you're doing business under a business name, contact MicroBill and they'll set you up with an account so you can skip trace your people that you're looking for. They also do, for those of you that do it, they also do batch skip tracing. So if you have a big list of properties that you want to find the owners on, you can submit that, and MicroBill will also skip trace. Okay, the batch list. So that's so we found through Fast People Search, through LinkedIn, we found some good information on the owners of this property, so we could reach out in a multitude of ways and contact them. I'm not going to get into it right now, just because this gets real deep into skip tracing, but there is Go down here, hop to it real quick. Advanced skip tracing tools. I have a link on here also to this website, inteltechniques.com. And on their page, we'll click on it real quick. There's some advanced tools if you're looking for people, getting into like Facebook. If you want to look up Facebook profiles, you can go to here and get a lot of information on people and, try to track people down. But that's real advanced stuff. So I'm not going to talk a lot about that right now. All right. So Google is also a great way to track people down. Just doing a Google search. If you take the person's name and put it in quotations, you can see, again, we've got that pre-closing specialist LinkedIn account for Tamisha. You've got a white pages, a couple, her Twitter feed came up. So that's another great way to find people. Is just put their name in there and in quotations and search for it and see what you come up with. All right. And then, like I said, putting a letter on the door, sending a letter to the property, and then marking on the letter, do not forward, return service requested, will make the letter come back to you if they forwarded their mail. So, you'll get a letter back, in telling you, you'll get the actual letter back, but it will have their new address on it. You can try that. I mentioned leave the note on the door. Lastly, you can visit the neighbor's house, and I'll tell you, neighbors are nosy, and neighbors, typically know where the owner is. One of them do. So, just walk around and see the neighbors and say, hey, I'm an investor in the area. I was kind of, looking for the house, the owner to the house next door. If you know where they are, here's my card, have them call me. And that works well too. So that's it. Hopefully, if you're new in the business and you're looking to track down people, this will give you a good, jump start on how to do it and how to skip trace them and get numbers and get some deals done. So I will update this page as I get, new tools and new information. So, you always use it as a reference and as a guide to, skip tracing people. And hopefully it helps you out. So that's it on skip tracing. And I hope you enjoy this video. Leave your comments down below. If you're watching it on YouTube, if you're here on the website, just shoot me a message if you have any questions. And I hope it helps you out. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.